Bojang, ye Mr. John Moyle, right? Uncle Keba, I am in Fojang. A Nitoro Walata, a Balafa Warata. From 2017, 2025. If we want to measure the achievements, the progress in terms of taking care of the victims, seeing to it that their needs are taken care of in terms of medical, the reparation, the psychosocial support, the counseling, and all that, how would you measure that? But then again, let me take you back. You remember when he talked about an example of a family, right, up country that they visited, and the woman was arrested and detained. And then he was detained in Janjambure and Muwasin while in detention. And you have Halebi Mak to an age wo hamna hamena, and because of Janjambure bin ko oye te lolu neku turam mu jahal ko and mu am pour ñew laaj yaayam, why am I being referred to as Janjambure? Now the mom had no option but to sit the boy down and explain the ordeal as per Mr. Kebe's narration here. And I bet you that's not a peculiar situation. I'm sure there are several others, maybe in different forms and shape, that has happened, that kids now are asking questions and their parents are in a predicament to explain to them. Some might succumb the courage to tell them as it is, but I'm sure some are still beating around the bush trying to sugarcoat and cover up. Possibly, to safeguard the child's mental health, and state of mind. Take it away, Abdoulie.
Yes, thanks. I am not here on behalf of APRC.
Oh, obviously.
But as I always, and as we always do, Ninge Masau, mbe victimol kontonna, mbe duale, mbe hakaboindle muhadamadengol leti. So obviously, ni mo dunda togo kono. And na ado men yitandi ana harabade ya walem nga fenke fe and so on. So we are doing that and genuinely.
Right.
And when I say genuinely, I mean it. Right now, according to him, the acting, is it chairman or whatever?
It's not acting, it's the coordinator.
No, he's the national coordinator.
But there is a chairman, I think,
yeah, that's the acting chairman.
Who is Muhammad Sanding.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Muhammad Sanding is my student at Nusrat.
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
I was also in the same class with Fatma Sanding,
wow.
10 to 12. So it's a family, and I know that. Yes, because he used to be part of Newsweek PTA and stuff like that. So it's not a family that I don't know.
Right.
It's not. These are not people that I don't know. There are people working at Victim Center who were equally my students. Some of them are becoming lawyers now. So Gambia is just a cabinet. Everybody knows, the ins and outs and so on. So we sincerely sorry. And to be frank with you, it's a mishandled situation. Yeah, Samba Nyameng Amantaku. It would have been a very great political capital for President Barrow. Ning Ayataya Tabinunku. The fact that they have confirmed that there is no apology even after repeated incessant requests or the victims trying to map out a way for government so that the weight, the heavy weight on them would be relieved a bit in terms of just words, not even money. The government is reluctant to do that, speaks volumes. What type of government? Now, if you look at the setup, I would question I always use this word, from a Lean Six Sigma perspective, because as Lean Six Sigma practitioners and experts, we believe in waste reduction and elimination. Now, if the TRRC will say reparation or interim reparation, their quality, isn't it?
Yeah, interim.
Why was the need for another commission that will suck away the money that should be meant for victims? The TRRC could have been empowered to even now extend, okay, the public hearings are done, but they could have done this bit to clear. All government needed was to give them the money to clear, especially those that needed support in terms of education, in terms of health, food, Instead of waiting to now have another institution that will be paid from same money that should have gone. So to me, that's an unnecessary delay and duplication. Because that money could have done something. Because already, if there is no evidence, TRRC, at least Def 9, you support victims, so we say maybe they did not have the capacity. But we have seen evidence that Def 9. So all you needed was to extend them even for 3 months or so, not public hearings, but now, okay, see how you go about at least these major cases that you have documented. So the government waiting to even form a commission begs a lot of questions as far as that perspective is concerned. The other thing is,
no, maybe I just want to add something onto what you've said. They could have left the secretarial of the TRRC
to continue that job.
To continue the job, you understand, and in collaboration with the victims and the
at a minimum cost.
At a minimum cost.
A fast speed. That we have not wasted taxpayer money or delayed. As we know, some people die, with anger, regarding all these issues. And again, I think from all indications, the Barrow government managing reconciliation or reparation and justice imamuta kukumayaring party, and they did not link it to national security. If they had linked it to national security, Bankola Neo, near link, national security is Bankola Neo. Okay, how do we have a society that is divided, that is angry, that is unreconciled, and you expect that society to move? We cannot move as a society because Gambia Musal in cabinet. So ni salton kolbe kumbokan, cabinet kolbe jelola. How do you see that joy in that house? You cannot have it. So if they had linked it to national security, they would have acted faster. And this would have triggered a lot of good things and but I think the other delay is most likely the government is earning and enjoying from the labor of the victims, using them as springboards to lobby, a foundation to write big, proposals to get more money and projects and this and that. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You are paying a victim, murder for that matter, the highest, 600,000. But the allowance of a National Assembly member in a year is way more than, and that is in a year, and he'll be enjoying that for 5 years, or even 10 years, or 15 years, depending. Go to other government institutions. The car that the permanent secretary, I'm not going to be minister, permanent secretary drives is how much? So this tells you that they did not value them. If they value them, these victims should have been reparated immensely, giving guarantees in terms of the education of the kids, even if it's going to be 2. There could have been an order or a mechanism to make sure each family, at least 2 or 3, from primary to university, whatever area, government will take that responsibility, not the money itself. Yeah. Those guarantees could have been there. And look, I'm sorry, but you see, some bad brings some good. We are talking about special prosecutors, whatever office, and a hybrid court. This is not naturally funded by taxpayer money alone. This is attracting investment. This is attracting investment not only in terms of Kodo, but in terms of building capacity of our judiciary,
and knowledge
of
transfer,
other institutions, all thanks to the victims.
Yeah, and knowledge transfer
yes.
as well and all.
So if you look at it from all this perspective, these people who, through whose effort or whatever naturally, brought that, they should have been in a position at least fighting a very reparation. We may be talking about some other things, and that would have helped our political space, right, our healing, our reconciliation. So these victims, I think government probably is using them to get more money. Because otherwise, why would the victim receive less, but the one who is working for the victim will receive more.
Exactly.
Some people, according to reports, the highest, as he has confirmed, I have had that, the highest is 600 and some 50,000. Now imagine that. 600,000
in this day and age with the economy that we have, 50,000. Let's say even the 600,000.
Yes.
600,000. Let's say you are a family. Let's say it was the husband that was murdered or killed, right? Now there is a wife and 3 kids at the at the maximum 3 kids. You give them a 600,000. Just think about, they don't own a home, they are renting, and all the 3 kids are going to school. And you give them a 600,000.
It's not effectual.
How sustainable? How long will the 600,000?
Yes. So this is the truth.
It would even last 1 year.
If you leave a family, we know minimum, on average, a Gambian single, even if it's single family or whatever, nuclear family, not extended, at least they spend 30,000. If you calculate everything, at least they spend 30,000. You see, this country, it's like God himself is the one doing things. That's the truth, because you cannot imagine how a police officer is running a family. Yeah. A soldier, how are they running a family? I cannot imagine it.
A teacher.
A nurse, how are you running your family? Considering everything.
Just put it like minimum $2,500, $3,000 salary. How will you run a family with that?
5,000, in fact. You cannot run a family. You cannot. It's magic that is happening in this country. Magic or boya the one that being bankunga. That's the truth.
Boya,
yes, witchcraft is what is running this country. No, otherwise, I don't know how you can run a family for 5,000, even 10,000. I don't know. Wow. How do you run a family? Now imagine people have passed through all that and still they are managing. The other component, which is a contribution on observation, I have not heard him say that. Maybe it's there. I think the approach should also be trying to see how they educate some of these family members, especially who don't have any investment and business, whatever, on how to go about some of these monies when they receive them.
Become
so that it becomes a multiplier effect for them, and they are able to sustain that and help them. But I think if it is not there, the government or the TRIC should have recommended not only the financial compensation, but to continue to give these people some little guarantees in terms of education and health.
We'll definitely bring
Jammeh's properties, how many of them? The lands they said he has, which according to are allegedly not gotten rightfully. These lands could have been demarcated 20 by 20, 20 by 20, 20 by 20. Given to these victims, even if they cannot construct for them.
Yeah.
That would have done
they
a lot
start
of,
somewhere. There's a foundation.
Yeah, there's a foundation.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those that actually have, but those that don't, I understand some families are still renting. Their parents couldn't at the time. So all this should have been things that they should have prioritized. Unfortunately, they did not. Imagine psychosocial support. The government has welfare and whatever, and they have a Ministry of Health. You cannot even render psychosocial support. He said AfricMed is what they have MOU with. It tells you how bad this government is at the system. Because new victim or their Gambians, they could have had that arrangement with RVH or Elmer Francis Small. But most likely, the services there, they are not there. What they needed, they cannot get it. So this is why nyantaka doko ke kanna banko makoi. Because sama ite manza kunda ebe moto bogondi kan. Ni bota je askene fanan be tagala sa sale kono. Wo sa sa nying ati jaga no la jang. E malo tano dada. And say mantaka power. We have seen senior government officials who are serving. They get overseas treatment. They go look for government budget for overseas treatment. Abanda. People have to intervene on their behalf. And these are senior government officials. Wala na police all. So jagol animal be do ko nga hakilutu. Alkataka do ko la atol fango ye sasa. Pour atol fango man sekunda e jogo keno allié pour aller ta jangalo bla doto. E buka keno. Jamal alkona ka fa wala nyama. Na lo men dolle be nyimbankunka. We know what is happening. So what on tol dolin dolbe diam kam buka diam because ntol tam no ka diam ne nyinka man tolli na kabago tema ani membe beti alla ntole because sama who knows who is going to have a kidney issue. A neurological issue or any other thing. These things are still happening. Senior government officials in the army, in the police. So
what I want you to conclude is, again, this particular woman. Because man, poor man, believe me, it's not only her you know, having to deal with that. You know, right? Because as a parent, there are certain situations that require nga osa dom nga waha mom. It's difficult as a mother to do that. Especially mom's situation, bim wara explain al domam and somebody else somewhere else. Te hate na mom go you through counseling, go you through therapy, you know, amut all those support to understand how to approach the child, to explain to them. Because again, it's not only explaining to the child, moham, why how is he going to deal with that? That in a kodef mo mer, mo aggressive, mo angry, you understand, mo become vengeful, mo become bitter. Lolo, yep, it's a result. Munna come out of such situation. And we talk about hale bi dafa deger bopa, mu ngi nan sangara, mu ngi into drugs. Why duñ they trace back? Fim joge ak under the family situation mom go through betax mo mel ni mel.
Yes, this is what exactly we have been saying. These people should have a support mechanism, psychological, you know, medical, social, even economical. If this thing had happened so many years ago, and still you are narrating it and you are crying as if it is very fresh, it means there is something lacking in your ability to control these emotions or that narrative. And the same thing is happening to the kid. And you see, this is what builds up a vengeful society. This kid, who knows if he's going to be a president? Who knows he's going to be an army general? By the time he sees Fafa's kids, and knew Fafa was in MPP, even if he's to arrest, he's going to arrest brutally. It's coming from somewhere very far. If he's in a situation, a boardroom to decide what happens and that those things come, he may not decide properly. These are seeds that we are sowing. So the society becomes very hateful, because of not only what is happening in Jamal like at a coma, when people go back there. And don't underrate. Anybody can be anything. Oh, yeah. So this kid can be a general, commander of the armed forces, can be anything, and all these things are happening. You think this kid probably is going to even have some whatever, some sympathy? No, let them feel it the way I feel it. When you have people thinking that way, it's very dangerous. It should have been linked to national security. Then people will understand what type of generation, these people, these families, the support that they need, Nima Soto. When they have the power, who knows what they are going to do? So this is how you look at things from all perspectives. They don't handle it well. And again, these people are worse than any other president that we ever had. And I even believe anyone that is coming. I'm not God. The point is this. How can you sell a G-Wagon or whatever for 20,000? A Hummer for whatever, 30,000 or whatever. And that money itself, up to now, you cannot hear people, you know, what actually it has done.
And a cow for $1,000.
You cannot understand what these people were thinking. Yet those victims are here. They are barely surviving, barely. So, that is the truth. You know, we are sorry, but that's the situation. Whether opposition, UDP, APRC, whatever, na President Barrow Bondi, na Fafanyol Bondi. All the APRCs, no alliance.
Huh?
No alliance.
No, don't call them APRC.
No, they are APRC.
No.
Regular service.
No, even APRC with them, we are calling them to join us.
Even you are calling you.
No, don't call North Alliance APRC.
Father, we are inviting you to come to the
Yes, yes, you're right. You can do
our country.
North Alliance
From the
APRC.
cabal, from the
APRC.
Who's their party leader?
Jame?
No, then they cannot be APRC. Jame, like this man said, who Modlamin Jame is just an ordinary party member of APRC. So if you call Jame a party leader of APRC, it means
So thank you,
it's a problem for me.
Thank you, Bojang.
Alliance.